Hey guys, and welcome to my season 4 review of Doctor Who. Okay, I have a couple of things to say before I get started. The first thing that I'm going to say is I don't want to hear it. Guys that are like, but this isn't the end of season 4. None of you can agree what's the finale and what's not. So I'm going to do what I've read the structure is, and I'm doing a season 4 review after I finish those episodes of season 4, and then there are 5 specials. Okay, guys, like, I can't with the arguing of what's a finale and what's not. It's gonna be okay, and we're gonna get through this together. Okay, next. The next part that I'm going to talk about is the noise upstairs. I say this in so many videos to you guys, I feel like, especially in Doctor Who videos, but I just got done recording another video for my Walking Dead countdown that I'm doing to the season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead, and I almost threw my phone, my cup of coffee, just a whole bunch of stuff at the wall because of how much noise they are making upstairs. And I'm just gonna talk over it, and I hope that you guys are okay with that. So if you hear stuff, I'm so sorry. We're moving soon, and thank God, right? Okay. Now that I got all of that out of the way, I'm going to get into the season. So this took a little bit longer than I thought it would, just because I've been doing a lot of videos lately, and I really did want to go through everything and you know, make sure that I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. So if it took a little bit longer than you were hoping, I'm sorry. Okay, let's get into it. So I want to talk about what I think the theme of the season is. So the theme of the season, in my opinion, is putting a spotlight on the companions and showing that the Doctor actually needs companions, and it's not just because he's lonely. Like, everybody needs people in their lives, but I think there's been a lot of instances throughout season 4 that we saw that the Doctor actually needs somebody. I think the biggest example is when they are, you know, we're looking into Turn Left as a good example of that, of Donna stopping him from going overboard and all of the stuff that happened because of that. I think that there are other examples as well, and obviously seeing a lot of the companions kind of come back in the finale is really important to showcase how much they have affected him, how much he has affected them at the same time. You know, it does go both ways. But I think there's been an emphasis on, you know, the Doctor being the best. You know, he always saves the day. And there were quite a few examples this season of a companion kind of influencing the Doctor as well. I think that's probably a running theme of the whole show, but I really saw it a lot in this season particularly. So I think one of the things that I want to talk about is Donna'S evolution in this whole season. You know, she was a pretty shallow person starting off, and it's this kind of evolution with various examples of how she became this shallow person to this very genuine person, and this person who saves worlds and is so deeply compassionate. I think that was really kind of a great journey to follow her on. I think a lot of people can get shallow in their everyday lives and can want specific things. And to see her kind of kind of through her eyes see how she kind of sees the bigger picture. And that's the Doctor's influence on her, as she has had influence on the Doctor. I think their relationship is probably one of my favorites of the Doctor and a companion. I think that they're probably up there for me, if not they top the list, because I think that they've done a lot for each other, and I love relationships like that. I think Donna found a very strong purpose alongside the Doctor, which makes the finale very, very sad. I liked when Wilf said, you know, she was better with you. That was like the epitome of Donna's character. She was better with the Doctor, and it's kind of sad to see that she really didn't. She's not going to be able to continue that journey with him and better herself even more. I'm hoping that she still betters herself on her own without the memories of the Doctor. She has it in her, so let's hope. So I'm going to briefly touch on the 3 episodes that shall not be named. You guys know which episodes they are. Why I'm going to briefly touch on them is because I believe they're important to the story moving forward. I believe that I'm going to have some more rough reactions coming up if that's the case. I believe hits a little too close to home. I'm talking about the Doctor's daughter and the 2-parter, but before that, if you didn't know what I was talking about already. It hits a little close to home. I went on a little bit of a rant before, and some people berated me for that as well. It is what it is. I can't help my personal connection with the military, and I'm going to get offended if people insult people in the military. That's just going to happen. But what I'm going to talk about in this review is just the storyline and what this all kind of brought up, and the Doctor's aversion to guns, the Doctor's aversion to the military. I think it's, you know, he made some snide comments, although I will say when Rose showed up with a big fucking gun, he had nothing to say. Doctor, anyway. I'm just kidding. That was really bitchy of me. I didn't, oh fuck. Anyway, okay, so I think he has a lot of stored up anger from what happened to him, and I don't know the specifics, but I know a bit. I say I have an idea of what went down, and I think he himself probably has a form of PTSD, and because of that, that's when like the sass comes out a little bit when it comes to that, and I think the whole thing with the Doctor's daughter episode didn't really help things. It was interesting to hear Davros, am I saying that right? Say to the Doctor at the end of the season, you built these soldiers. And when there's war, there's soldiers, you know? And I think the Doctor himself has the ability to use other alternatives, but everyone else has to find their own way to survive. And I like that they're touching on that a little bit. I gotta say, I like enjoyed watching the Doctor's daughter. I'm not sure how much it's not gonna be in my top 5 favorite episodes. It was an enjoyable thing to watch. I think the whole thing of her being his daughter kind of got a little lost on me. Not that I didn't understand it, just that it kind of came out of nowhere, if that makes sense. So anyway, I know that people have said that the whole issue with the military is going to come up again, and I'm probably not going to like it. So what I'm going to say about that is please just bear with me. I will say my own personal viewing experience of this season, if those episodes weren't in it, this season would have been perfect, amazing. Like, but not that I didn't like the episodes, but that the comments and things like that got a little intense, and it was a little rough. So I'm preparing myself for whenever that comes up again, and hopefully we can get through this together. So now I'm going to talk about another episode that to me fell a little flat, and that is Midnight. Okay, so I liked it. I enjoyed watching it. It's not, you know, I don't think there was really any episode this season that I didn't like or didn't enjoy watching. So that's good, right, guys? Like, you've been waiting forever to hear me say something like that. However, what I will say about Midnight is it just sort of fell flat. And I don't think that it's overhype. People talked about Midnight in my comment section leading up to it. But it was like half of the people were saying good things and half of the people were like, I don't get it. And you know, so I don't think it was overhyped. I didn't really know what to expect. And you know, I think that Midnight for me, I liked the close quarters of it. I liked seeing the Doctor in a more helpless state that we're not used to seeing him in. That's another thing that kind of trickles with the theme of other people saving the Doctor. I think it was a great concept. Somebody mentioned this in a comment that it's honestly probably like a really good play. Do you hear the baby crying now? Like, I can't with this bullshit, okay? Not that I'm upset that a baby's crying. I'm upset that the walls are so fucking thin, okay? Anyway, so, oh my God. Okay, so, I lost my train of thought. I'm literally losing my mind when making these videos. I'm so mad. Oh, okay. Somebody wrote this in the comments. I have my notes down here, that's why I keep looking down. So I heard somebody say in the comments that it would make a good play. I think it would make an excellent play. I didn't think it was scary. I didn't even think it was creepy. You know, I think it did have a really great look at the human condition. But I wasn't really terrified throughout any of it, but maybe it was because I just didn't think that the Doctor would die in that episode, and you know, so, but I thought it ended on a really sad and somber note, and I liked that a lot. I like when, you know, there's pain and sad moments and all of that, so I liked that. But for me, I don't know why, but Midnight really didn't floor me in the way that other episodes did. So right now I'm going to kind of talk about the ending of kind of the companion's journey. I don't know if we're going to see anybody again. I don't know if we're going to see Rose, Martha, Donna, Mickey, Sarah Jane, Jack, those two wonderful people from Torchwood that I don't know their names, but that girl was, I liked her a lot. I thought she was fun. But I'm going to talk about the endings with them if, I don't know if we're going to see them again, okay? So I did not like the ending with Rose. Let me know if I'm the only one, because Rose is in love with the Doctor. The Doctor is in love with Rose, and he gave her like a cloned copy. That isn't him. It's him in the sense that he has the memories and stuff, right? But like it doesn't have a soul. That's not the person she fell in love with. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It just made me feel like heroes have this one. I gotta go. Like, I just didn't like that. And I'm not the biggest fan of Rose. We know this. I like her, but she's not my favorite, but I'm like, oh God, she deserves more than that, right? Like, it just, to me, it felt like a very weird cop-out. And I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying that. I really didn't like that ending with her. And I hope we address that. I don't know if we're gonna address that. I just feel like it's kind of weird. The next companion that I'm going to talk about her ending is Martha. I really love Martha, and I love that she found her own identity. I feel like a lot of the companions, Rose and Donna alike, in that the final episodes are very kind of still very attached to the Doctor and dependent on the Doctor and stuff. And I like that Martha has found her own path, and that she's not relying on the Doctor in any sense. I love that a lot. I love that she realized that she's better than, I talked about this before, but her pining over him when he wasn't reciprocating was really just driving me nuts. Because I think that, if somebody doesn't want to love you for you, then they're not fucking worth it. They're really not. I think, and I think that they're showing somebody get a lot of self-confidence. Martha deserves someone amazing. You know what I mean? Like someone that is just, I don't know. And I'm sure we're never going to really see, maybe we'll see, who she ends up with, or if she ends up with anybody. Maybe the bitch doesn't need anybody. Maybe this is part of her finding it out. But if she is going to find love in any sort of way, I think it should be with someone better than the Doctor. For her. I'll say it like that, because I don't want you guys to get all pissed off and be like, but the Doctor's the best. Like, I don't mean it. I mean like that, but I mean like for her, and that's going to love her for who she is. So I actually really liked, I will say I may not have been particularly liked her arc throughout the two-parter. I thought that she was kind of separated from everybody, and that was kind of sad. I wish that she had more interaction with everybody, but I still really liked it. And I liked the dynamic that they had with Martha and Jack in those few scenes that they had kind of talking over communication and stuff. I think that I really, really liked the two of them, and I wish that she would join Torchwood. That would be kind of fun to watch. And Mickey needs to join but Mickey, right? Okay. So now I'm going to go into Donna'S Ending, which is kind of the tragedy of it all. I saw a lot of mixed comments when it comes to Donna'S Ending about how you guys feel about it. Some of you were very mad that they ended her like that. I can understand that. I'm gonna say I liked it right off the bat. I'm just gonna say that for you guys, that I love it when shows rips your heart out and stomps on it. You don't like it in the moment, but I like when that happens. Okay, what I'm gonna say, I did think that the whole idea that she merged with the Doctor and that she can just push a bunch of buttons and the Daleks are just incapacitated was a little like just... The show suffers a little bit from that syndrome of like, oh, this magical thing, she touched a hand and now she can defeat the Daleks just like that because she can. And I'm not a big fan of things like that. I think that's why I stray away from fantasy writing a lot of the time, because there's a lot of that in fantasy. So I thought it was a little weird. And when she was talking really fast, I'm gonna admit something to you guys. When she was talking really fast and like whatever, I couldn't understand a word she said at all. I sometimes have a hard time with certain things that people say on the show because of the accents. And I don't know why, because I can understand everything in Downton Abbey. Can you guys, if you guys know why, can you like let me know? I can't, sometimes when they talk too fast and they're doing like their quippy one-liners, I'm like, what did they say? I have no idea. Yeah, by the tone of their voice and how they said it, I know that it was supposed to be a joke, but like everything that she was saying, I was like, well, I get that she's stopping the Daleks right now, but what lady could slow it down? I don't know. So I really didn't want to admit that to you guys, but I was like, I don't know what the fuck she's saying. But anyway, let's get into the sad part of it. I liked it. I like it when shows rip my heart out, and I thought it was really, really sad. The fact that she found her purpose, the fact that she did so much in just one season of this show. Guys, I love her. I think she's wonderful. I think she's one of the best companions that I've seen to date. And I think it's absolutely tragic that she can't remember any of it. You know, Rose isn't with the doctor. I don't think she's with the doctor, with her fake doctor that she has. But like, and Martha isn't with the doctor. But they have the memories. They have the love. They have the realization of importance. They have, if the doctor made them better, they still have that part of their personality, and Donna doesn't. That is so fucking sad to me. And the fact that she didn't want it to happen, she was fine with it, like killing her as long as she knew, and he did it anyway. Oh my fucking God. That scene really got to me. I think it was probably one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've seen on this show so far, if not the most heartbreaking scene that I've seen. Yeah. I think another kind of sad moment at the end of the finale is Wilf. That scene where the doctor leaves and he says, "Who do you have?" And then he says that he's going to look up at the sky. That fucked me up. That fucked me up really bad. Wilf is one of the best characters on the show, for sure. I liked the ending of the episode. I didn't like it, but I loved how they ended that, and they made it really heartbreaking. And the doctor's alone again. He had all of these people, this whole two-parter, and then he's alone again, and that's really kind of sad. And the emotional pain he has to go through to say goodbye to all of these people is pretty rough. But he should just fucking have Mickey come along with him, and I would be happy. The doctor would have great company. You know, I don't think he has to worry about Mickey falling in love with him, so there's that. You know, I think we would solve so many problems if Mickey was just the companion for season 5. Can we make that happen? Can you guys? Who do I write to make that a reality? I would just like to know. So yeah, let's do that. In general, I definitely know why you guys really wanted me to react to this season in particular. I think that there's a lot of great moments and crowd-pleasing moments. I do think it seemed a little rushed sometimes in comparison to the other seasons. I feel like they tried to put a lot in, and especially the finales, it was a lot of like this, and the other thing. All in all, this season was my favorite by far. I think that there were some amazing episodes, which I'm about to get into, and some great character development. I just think this was probably the first time that or quite a few episodes, I really liked the 10th Doctor. I wasn't a big fan of him in season 2 or 3. I mean, I liked him, but he didn't really stand out to me, and there were some moments in this season in particular that really got me to love him a lot. I think that he's a great Doctor. I may still like 9 more. I don't know. Oh my God. I have to think about that. I'll get back to you. I like Chris a lot, So now I am going to go into my top 5 favorite episodes of season 4. This one was tough. It was tough to decide, what episodes I really wanted to talk about and get into a little bit further. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So number 5 on the list is Planet of the Ood. I thought it was great that they took a, species that they introduced in season 2 as kind of the bad guy, or, they were possessed, but possibly a bad guy. And kind of really put a spotlight on them and put a spotlight on slavery in a sense. And it just, the whole episode was really emotional when they, when Donna was with the Doctor with the caged Ood, and they found out that it was his brain, and man, I just think that that's a really good episode of Doctor Who. I would say that that's one of the episodes of Doctor Who that I would suggest maybe watching to somebody who hasn't seen Doctor Who, who's not going to give too much away, but is a good representation of what the show is really about. You may disagree with that, but I think that it was a great standalone, but really emotional at the same time. And we see Donna growing so much in the episode, as it's one of those episodes that we really got to see Donna grow a lot in, and that they, were kind of talking about, that they would sing songs about the Doctor and Donna. It was just really sweet, and yeah, that episode really got me. I liked it a lot. Number 4 on the list is Turn Left. Okay, so I'm not always a fan of what if episodes. Just because they didn't happen, and so then they reset at the end of the episode and they didn't happen. So I feel like this episode would have been a little higher on the list if it wasn't kind of a what if episode. But I will say why it made the list is the emotional impact that they were able to portray with Donna, and Catherine Tate's performance was amazing and just blew me away so much in the episode that I think Turn Left is one of those episodes that I just really, I would probably go back and watch it again, and I don't really do that with a lot of what if episodes. I think my favorite what if episode ever of any TV show is probably The Wish from Buffy, if you haven't seen it. It's really good. But this probably comes like a close second to that. I liked it a lot. I think Donna's journey was really kind of sad, and I like that they did an episode focusing on Donna specifically and her importance. I think all the companions are pretty important, but I like that they kind of showed this like ordinary girl that doesn't think much of herself become so much, you know, more in her own eyes. Maybe not to the world or whatever, but to herself, she's gaining this sort of confidence in herself that she really loves. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain that. Number 3 on the list is Fires of Pompeii. There were some things that I wasn't a big fan of in the episode. The monster was very, like, kind of cheesy, but like, whatever. I can deal with cheesy monsters. If there's a good storyline behind it, you just brush it under the rug. It's when I'm not really a fan of the storyline and there's a big, fucking, I don't know, turtle attacking people. I made that up. There's not something that I watched, but there was a big turtle attacking people. But I'm just saying, like, I would be like, oh, well, this is kind of silly. But I liked the moral dilemma that they displayed. I liked seeing Doctor and Donna'S dynamic in that episode, and when she says just save one, it's so emotional and beautiful to just save one family. I just thought it was so wonderful to see that kind of happen. I liked that there wasn't a ton of episodes with just the Doctor and Donna together. There was, Martha came back and Rose was back and then everybody was back. And even Midnight and Turn Left was kind of a Doctor episode and then a Donna episode. And so there were quite a few, not a whole lot of episodes to choose from where it's kind of just them versus a situation. And I think that one was my favorite and the best. I really liked it. And I love that gray area. I love it when shows delve into what's right and what's wrong, and if you can save someone, should you save someone? It was just such a great, loved it. Okay, so now some of you are not going to agree with this, but I'm going to explain why I'm picking this as number 2. Number 2 is Journey's End. I think there was some silliness. I felt like there were some plot holes. Nothing major, but like some issues in my head of how everything came about. But it is a crowd pleaser and great for reactions, let me tell you. It was really fun. And, I did talk about it at the end of the reaction that I think that there was some silliness, but it really is a crowd pleaser episode. And if you're okay with a crowd pleaser episode and you don't get caught up on the little details of, the plot and how this is going or whatever, you probably fucking loved it. If you get caught up in that shit, you're probably like, I cannot watch it. Or you were just pissed off at the Donna ending and that's why you don't like it. I understand. Why this is going to be number 2 on my list in particular is you guys. It's gonna get kind of hard from now on to separate reactions from the TV show. I've talked about this. I'm going to go in a little bit of a tangent here. I've talked about this a little bit about my Game of Thrones reactions in a couple of my other videos, when I think of Game of Thrones, I like it. I love it. It's such a good show. But I do, whenever I hear the words Game of Thrones, I like cringe a little because of all the hate that I get on those videos and all of the shit that I have to deal with on those videos. For this particular reaction, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys made me feel so good about releasing this. I'm gonna get emotional. You guys made me feel so good about releasing this reaction. You guys were like, my friend George made like a countdown on his phone and people were tweeting, like 1 more day or whatever. And they were you guys were so wonderful. And then the feedback that I got on the actual reaction was just wonderful as well. I actually was like out of town after I uploaded it. Like I went on a day trip and I uploaded the reaction, went on the day trip, and then at the end of the day, I read all of the comments, and it's really sweet, and you guys are really nice. So, and it was also the day when I shot it, the day that I hit 5,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna have fond memories of that episode and this time. Yeah. So that's why it's going to be number 2. You guys may not like that reason, or you guys may really like that reason, but to me, these episodes are starting to turn into a little bit more than just the episodes themselves. It's turning into my interaction with you throughout the episodes, and you guys were, you know, really wonderful. Also, it had Mickey, so, like, obviously gonna be on the top 5, like, please. It could be the shittiest fucking episode, and if Mickey showed up, I'm stubborn like that, so, you know. And the number 1 episode is Forest of the Dead. I didn't put the first parter in my top 5 just because I didn't, you know, I just didn't. Though I thought that there were some great moments in that too. But Forest of the Dead, River girl, River, love you. I don't even know you and I love you. It's so great. I just think she's an amazing character, and the concept of this story was amazing. That I believe she is his wife. I could be wrong. Listen, I don't know. I think she is. And that we're going to see her again, and that she already knows him, but he doesn't know her. And the acting in that scene where she sacrifices herself is just so fucking brilliant. The story of this 2-parter was great. The side story was great too with Donna. I really liked that. Again, another point where Donna and the doctor aren't really together. But I just think that the whole story was very beautiful and amazing, and it tops the list by far. I really, really loved it. I really thought that the relationship that they were able to write between River and the doctor already within just this 1 episode is amazing. I can't wait to see her again. I'm assuming we will see her again. And, you know, I loved when she said spoilers, like crying, and yeah, that was the best episode by far, in my opinion, of season 4. I think it's beautiful. I thought it was great standalone, but just in general, it was just a wonderful episode. I really enjoyed it. Okay guys, so that's about it for my review of season 4. I hope you enjoyed it. I did spend a little bit more time rewatching the episodes. I'm in the middle of doing my countdown to The Walking Dead, and those videos are taking just so much effort and a lot of time off of my hands. So, but I didn't want to upload this and just bullshit it. I wanted to actually make sure I did my research and rewatched the things I wanted to rewatch and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. So again, just to reiterate kind of what I said, I'm going to be doing the 5 specials before I move, and then I'm going to be moving. I'm gonna just 1 second. Lord. Okay, so I'm moving because you guys are really into, I'm not gonna give you exact dates when these reactions are coming out though, because I like teasing you guys on Twitter and we have a lot of fun. I feel like the people that follow me on Twitter and the whole thing, throughout this season, I was doing like little emojis to try to explain what reaction was coming up. I've been having fun with that, so I might still do that. So I'm not going to give you exact dates when they're coming out. But my last video before I move is going to come out either November 12th or November 13th. So you will get all of them before that. I say maybe November 13th, because that would be The Walking Dead that Sunday, and I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to film it. I don't know if like our TV is going to be packed up by then, so I have no idea. So we'll see. But so it's going to be the 12th or the 13th. You will have, in November, you will have all of the episodes up by then, or the specials, I guess I will say. I'm looking in my, this is, you guys want to see my, this is my planner that I use for my videos. Of course it's Walking Dead. I'm so predictable. Anyway, thank you guys for being so wonderful throughout this whole experience. I have a couple of more maybe fun Doctor Who videos. I want to do a like top 10 companions so far video. Let me know if you would want to see that. I don't know if there are 10 companions. I would have, maybe there isn't. I would have to think about that and see. Maybe I'll just do ranking of the companions. I don't know. But let me know if you'd like to see something like that. And yeah, this is already too long. So thank you guys for whoever has watched all of this. Sorry if you heard noises. Cannot wait to move. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.